RED Plus is an idea that we can help combat climate change by reducing deforestation and forest degradation and by managing forests sustainably. Like all ideas, it's been evolving. Among other factors, people realize that in order to deliver meaningful environmental and social benefits, RED Plus strategies must take into account possible impacts on the poor and other vulnerable communities, as well as potential contributions these stakeholders can make. With this in mind, over the last few years, both negotiators at United Nations climate conventions and people working at the ground level have begun to incorporate the needs and contributions of forest-dependent communities into the RED Plus work. How can this translate into robust and equitable national RED Plus policies? First, those implementing RED Plus should understand the intricate linkages between forest-dwelling people and the forests where they live. They must find out how and how much forests contribute to the livelihoods of these communities. In addition to selling some forest products for cash income, many forest communities also manage and use their forests to derive a variety of services and products from the forest to meet their day-to-day non-cash needs. It is important to establish and address the nature and scope of forest dependency to make sure implementing RED Plus does not harm but rather enhances the livelihoods of forest inhabitants. Second, any RED Plus plan must ensure the rights of forest communities are clarified and secured, and that they have a fair share of the multiple benefits which may come from RED Plus incentives. However, defining these rights is not simple, especially in poor and undeveloped regions like Indonesia's Papua province. There, indigenous Papuans say the land is owned by the various ethnic groups, but the government also claims ownership of the land, as well as the right to protect or exploit the forests. In Guatemala, investors have shown interest in the carbon held in forest concessions and community forests. This interest led to questions of what legal claims the communities had to the payments from those RED Plus investments and what payments they could expect. These issues of defining rights to resources, land tenures, and ways to recognize and incorporate customary practices and knowledge are not unique to the forests of Papua Province or Guatemala. Every country developing policies or plans to implement RED Plus should involve the people who will be impacted in developing that plan from the outset and at every step of the way. Effective participation should be measured on the basis of its quality, quantity, accessibility, and representation of stakeholders in all stages of RED Plus readiness and implementation. It is particularly important to engage groups that are too often overlooked, like indigenous people and women. In many countries, women play a vital role in managing forests and using forest resources to support their families. Like with indigenous peoples and forest communities, getting and keeping women involved in the decision-making process can strengthen the RED Plus policies and help them to ensure more equitable distribution of the benefits. RED Plus gender roadmaps, like the ones IUCN helped develop in Ghana, Uganda, and Cameroon, can help mainstream gender considerations into the forestry sector, paying special attention to RED Plus processes. If countries incorporate the rights, needs, and inputs from forest-dependent communities, REDD+ can be a tool for helping meet not only international climate objectives, but also national objectives like poverty reduction and food security. And in the end, the success of REDD+ and the permanence in any emissions reductions that come from it is largely dependent on the extent to which national REDD+ policies recognize the rights and interests of forest communities and help to improve or sustain their livelihoods.